Hi everyone! Today, I want to paint something that captures a quiet summer evening. Sometimes these kinds of landscape paintings are my favorite to make because I'm not limited in what I choose. Throughout the whole time I'm painting, my mood can shift, and in the end, the painting ends up reflecting whatever state I was in while making it. My mindset and mood shape the palette I choose, how soft the light is, the edges of the lines, even how many little flowers end up in the meadow. And I don't need to copy reality. I can add details, paint the way I feel. The first thing I do is sketch out the main lines of the landscape on the sheet, basically making a rough draft, building the composition the way I want it. This usually doesn't take long, but it helps me get a much clearer sense of where and how to place what I have in mind. At this stage, I'm not thinking about colors or small details yet. I'm just looking for the general shapes. I mark out the focal point of the composition. Where do I want the viewer's eye to be drawn? I actually really love this part because there's so much freedom in it. I love that feeling when I sit down to paint, and in front of me, there's a blank sheet of paper, a palette that's just been freshly washed, paints and all the other materials neatly arranged nearby, so nothing gets in the way or distracts me, and I can fully focus on my painting. Over the years, I've come to understand one thing: paintings usually look their worst somewhere in the middle of the process. That can stress me out, and I can't help thinking that at some point, I've ruined everything. But if I stopped every time I felt that way, I'd never finish anything. So now I try not to judge a painting too early. I just keep laying down layer after layer and trust the process. I think the best formula is to do what feels right, even if it doesn't turn out the way you originally imagined. Even if it's not perfect, you can either get frustrated or enjoy the process and take something good away from it. The choice is yours. I choose not to get upset and to keep going. If I run out of energy, I set the painting aside until I want to sit down and finish it with real desire and inspiration. So remember, a painting can always be finished later by adding a few accent elements and fixing whatever isn't working right now. In this landscape, I wanted everything to feel soft. No harsh edges or contrasts. I wanted it to feel like looking across a huge field of flowers in warm air. That's why I use muted colors. So first, I fill in the background to see how the colors will work together. I follow a rule from art school: from the general to the specific. That means covering the whole sheet with paint, so there are no untouched white areas left that would create a jarring contrast and get in my way. So first, I mix shades of green on the palette for the field, and shades of blue for the sky and mountains. I love how these colors naturally create a peaceful atmosphere. Now, I move on to working on the foreground. This is the stage where the painting gradually comes to life. Our brain is remarkably good at filling in missing information. That's why sometimes painting less actually creates a more convincing illusion than rendering every tiny detail. I think that's one of my favorite things about painting. It leaves room for the imagination. The flowers are probably the most interesting part of the work. They're surprisingly simple. Just little petals and thin stems. On their own, they don't look like much. But once dozens of them are scattered across the field, the whole landscape starts to feel alive. When I get to details this small, I can feel the painting nearing completion. Someone once asked me whether I plan everything out before I start working. Honestly, not really. Usually I have a general sense of the mood I want to create, but a lot of the decisions get made right in the process of painting. If an area feels too empty, I add more texture. If something feels too dark, I soften it with light. It's more like a dialogue with the painting than following a strict plan, and I think that's exactly what makes painting so engaging for me. Every piece surprises me in some way. Now I'm adding the final touches and a bit more contrast, but not too much. I still want the landscape to feel calm. Sometimes you just want to keep working forever, but knowing when to stop is probably one of the hardest skills to master. You don't have to fill every inch of the painting. Sometimes empty spaces matter just as much. And there it is, the piece is finished. I hope watching this video gave you a few minutes of quiet, a chance to slow down a little, and if it inspired you to paint, to create something, or just to take a break from your everyday routine, then this video has done its job. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. See you in the next video.